29th of July 2020. Good afternoon from Europe. Beautiful weather outside. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are, guys. Piotr here. This is Light Forex Global YouTube channel. It's a big day today. Actually, today and the next 2 days are gonna be big in my opinion, as we are approaching end of the month, so the flow related to the end of the month will dominate. We do have FOMC day today, but the thing is that the hearings in Washington, when it comes to the CEO of the big tech companies, could take over here, as well as big earnings day tomorrow. So without a further delay, let's have a look what we have when it comes to the charts. Alright, so we are counting towards the FOMC, we are counting minutes. We don't know when the hearings are going to come to the end and what outcome it could be. Anyway, if you remember yesterday after the US cash close, I did the market update with the München failure, and well, that's what happened yesterday, right? That's the range. A retest of 50% and rejection, right? So even the stop count on Friday here was enough only to just push higher to 50% of that range when it comes to the daily chart. Okay, now, well, still echoing the yesterday München failure, and you know, I've seen already quite few clever guys asking if there is a possibility that we are going to get the agreement when it comes to this bill, to the money, to this rescue fund, if market is not going to crash, right? And actually that's quite a good question, to be honest with you, and my answer is short, no. And probably we are going to see some kind of them. It depends what we are, you know, I would say that we are going to see something today, but I think it might be also depends on the outcome from these hearings and tomorrow from the earnings. But still, I do believe 1-to-1, as discussed yesterday, could be the case. So retest of this particular demand zone, order block, or whatever you want to call it, that could be the case. If we are going to go lower, meaning that we are going to take out very important lows, and then you can try to make the measure what could be the next target. I'm not gonna count the upper shadows. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to make like this, right? So from here without the upper shadow to here to that low, right? So that's the measure I'm going to do. So if we are going to break it and hold below, then well, we might talk about even lower levels, right? We might talk about even lower levels, guys. It comes to close to 9,780, 750, and also that could be the finishing the business when it comes to the swing low. That could be the case as well. So we have quite few nice potential targets. Okay. So let's remove this one. Let's move one line lower. Somewhere here. All right. So what's my plan? When it comes to the selling? All right, I'm already sitting short based on the retest of this München failure. Okay, cannot rule it out. 10,700. This supply over here, as you can see, never been tested. So that could be another in addition, right? That's the number 2. Number 3 approach. Of course, I do not expect it's going to happen today, tomorrow, but retest, because it's so beauty. I've been explaining it's so beauty that I think at some point in the future we might see stop count through that double top, right? So first thing first, previous week open, finishing the business. So right here, right now, then somewhere close to 10,705, and then eventually double top. When it comes to the buyers, the first thing, it could be still the bottom of that range, right? So levels close to 10,300 80, 350, so creating some kind of the over under, right? So this was lower and hitting this zone over here. That could be the name of the game. Down. That's the number one. Now number two, stop hunt through the Friday low, right? If we are going to go through, so this particular candle is going to come into play, right? This one particular is coming into play, right? So basically based on this falling trend line, right? Stop hunt through, okay? Stop hunt through and trying to hold some kind of the 50%, okay? And finally finishing the business, so levels close to 9,670, 9,680, something like this, all right? So that's the levels when it comes to the selling and buying Nasdaq. Let's have a look what we have on S&P, because it's also interesting. We are trying towards the end of the month to get out above supply, but as you can see, we failed last Friday, right? We failed last Friday and last week. So what we have right now, the retest, and from the very beginning of this week, market is holding below, right? So for now, that's the selling, and 3,000 is a buying, right? So you have 3,240 right now as a sellers opportunity for the sellers, and then 3,000 opportunities for the buyers. If that's the range of the 250, right? Then to the downside we have 2,750. To the upside we have almost 3,500. If we are going to break out through that level, all right? Is it going to happen without the agreement in relation to the bill, to the money, to the helping fund when it comes to COVID? I don't know. For me, still broadly from the bigger picture, well, based on where we are, risk reward is a little bit better from the seller's perspective, but each and everyone should do own research. Basically, if you like what we are discussing, then compare to your thinking and try to take the advantage of that. I'm not always right. That's the thing, right? And finally, because it's FOMC day, so it's time to discuss dollar. The Australian dollar versus US dollar did what we were discussing that they are going to do. I added shorts, medium term. I'm trading intraday, so there's more stop counts, rejection during the Tokyo session, and the US guys, looks like the US guys took the opportunity to join the party as well, right? So the Australian dollar, exactly what we discussed yesterday with the very late evening preparation for this Australian dollar CPI. Now the thing is that it's only intraday perspective, right? It's only intraday perspective. So overall, you want to see eventually break through some trending lines to treat it from the medium and long term, right? From the intraday perspective, what we are looking for and what I'm looking for is the retest of the levels we already seen. So I would start with this 71.50. I would go as low as 71.20 and 70.90. So that's how I see the things when it comes to the Australian dollar, especially if we are going to break through this level. We already been trying. So if there is no finishing business from the intraday perspective, if we are going to break, that's the some kind of the double top, and yeah, we might have even lower move to the downside, so we might see some more stop counts to the downside, and we might from the intraday perspective hit the levels we were discussing. Euro dollar, there you go. Bears trying, I don't know, I think we are going to take it, but bears trying to build lower upper shadows, right? High, a little bit lower, and as of now, a little bit lower. On the other hand, buyers are good above 1650 because that's the weekly open. Yesterday price action could be treated as a correction or inside bar based on the 50% of the Monday range. So you know, you wanna see the breakout through the inside bar, right? But I'm going to watch a little bit different. And during the FOMC announcement and eventually during the Powell press conference, I'm gonna watch this yesterday inside bar, and I'm gonna skip the first attempt to break. Doesn't matter if it's going to be to the upside or to the downside, but I'm going to skip the first attempt and I'm going to go opposite when the market will try to break the opposite side, especially if we have still time towards the end of the US session. Getting lower to the 1 hour, right? Here everything what was possible to finish been finished, all the stops intraday been done. The only thing hasn't happened yet. The only thing hasn't happened yet is the finishing the business based on what we've seen on Monday. So something like close to 1780. Right, am I right? Yeah, 1780, and then we have from the daily chart we have 1805 and 1840, right? So cannot be ruled out that, for example, we are going to make this run here and from here down, or we are going to make more. So we are going to hit that stops. We are going to make 3 with stop count, and from here something like this. All right. Opposite when it comes to the buyers, as I mentioned, it could be if we are going to see first failure right at the bottom, the very aggressive. It could be from the intraday perspective this type of the setup, right? Now we are talking about the longs, right? Or if we are failing here and you are still not feeling good, then later today or tomorrow you wanna, if the first attempt gonna be to the downside but gonna be failure, so the second, if it is going to be the upside, that's where you're gonna go with the flow. That's the first thing. Second thing is the weekly open around 1650, all right? And the third, as we discussed, if somehow bulls are gonna to fail, we might see 115, 114.50, right? And from the medium and long-term perspective, as I don't like to chase with the prices, that could be the solution, a bigger pullback. Now, why I think we might see bigger pullback? Because of what we already had, right here. So if we are going to get something similar here, that's gonna be somewhere close to 115, and this nice demand zone around 14.50. That's euro dollar. Okay, and the last one, no, it's not cable, it's dollar yen today. Nice break to the downside. I think the guys, when it comes to the Bank of Japan, they are nervous a bit, all right? So that's the broken range, right? So I'm not in a rush. 106.10 might be the selling opportunity, as this one 106.70 supply, this particular one, right? So this type of the rally could be in place as well. So 106.10 and 106.70 as a selling levels when it comes to the dollar yen. And here with euro dollar, we were discussing both sides. With dollar yen for now, the buyers, they have to wait for eventually finishing the business when it comes to the possible swing low, right? And we are talking about the levels close to 104.10, 104. So still some distance to go. All right, folks, that's it from me. So the plan is ready for the evening. If necessary, of course, after the US cash session close, I'm going to make an update. It was my pleasure to be with you. Take care, don't be trapped, and see you around. Take care and goodbye, guys.